Alrighty, hi everyone. It's STEM Sundays with Emily, and we have a special guest here today, Lauren McDonald, another engineer and involved in pageants too. So I'm excited to have her on today to teach you guys a little bit about what she does for engineering and as an engineer, and kind of how we have similar paths, but different little anomalies, I guess, and that go in between that.
Yes, so first off, I'm Lauren McDonald, and I graduated from Clemson University in 2015 with a packaging science degree, and I am sure you have never heard of packaging science before in your life. So yes, the way I love to explain it is those handy dandy flip tabs on an Oreo package. You know how you could just flip that tab open, you're easily able to grab a cookie and go on about your business. So a packaging science engineer actually designed that. What I do, I work as an engineer at Nissan North America here in Mississippi, and I basically help design and implement different types of racks to hold parts from different suppliers in order to build a vehicle.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very different, but also very interesting at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Before we jumped on this call, we talked about how being engineers, a lot of the times people come up to us and say, "Oh, you're an engineer, you must know every engineering answer to every engineering question." And that is so not the case. So it's very cool for me as a civil engineer to learn about what you do, because that's nothing that I learned really in school. I mean, we have, the basics that we probably know, physics, math, all of those courses are the same, but it's those different like minutiae that are so completely different, where if somebody came up and asked me what a packaging engineer did, I really wouldn't be able to speak on it at all. So it's really cool to learn from you and have you tell everyone that watches our STEM Sunday videos too what you do. I think for so many outsiders, we'll call them, quote unquote outsiders, when you tell people that you are an engineer and also involved in pageants, do you get some sort of feedback that is, I mean, for me, it's always very much like, what are you talking about? And I bring it up at work. What has been your experience like talking to either your coworkers or just people in general about being an engineer and also involved in pageants?
Yeah, and I have a situation that actually pops up in my head right away. Before the pandemic and everything, I had my hair done, my makeup done. Nowadays, don't do that very often, just mask.
Right.
But I do remember going down in our new model planning room where I had this giant presentation that I was about to give to a room full of men. And I stepped foot in that room, and one of them looked at me and said, "Wow, you're an engineer?" I said, "Well, of course I am. I mean, why would I not be
Right.
here?" So it's definitely something that a lot of people are, they see you as a beauty queen, but an engineer, it's kind of like a step back moment for them. You don't really put those two and two together.
Exactly.
And that's something that I hope to bring to pageantry, is just not only be a woman in pageantry, but also a woman in science. And I think we can definitely mix those two together and, be a role model for others,
Yeah, I love
especially
that.
young girls, for sure.
Yeah, that's something too that I try to bring into my workplace and the industry as a whole, is talking more about it, because I feel like in the very beginning, I started as a young engineer and I wanted to keep my personal life out of my professional life. But I found that a lot of my coworkers are really intrigued and want to learn more about it, because it's
Yeah.
something that, working with men, I'm the only woman in my department. I'm sure you have a very similar situation where there's a lot more men than women.
And I think it's just a great way, like I was saying before, is having a woman in pageantry and a woman in engineering combine those two, and just making sure that girls realize that they can be anything they want. They can be a beauty queen, they can be an engineer, they can be an accountant, really anything. Doesn't necessarily have to do with STEM all the time, but just I wanted to put that out there for girls that may not have the confidence in their life to, do these very successful things.
It is funny to think like, wow, I wonder what where I would have been if I had been introduced to that sooner. So I'm
Right.
sure a lot of girls are, thankful. And I think young Emily would have been so intrigued by all the things that you're doing with this platform. And do you have a favorite event that, with COVID, it's hard. I'm sure like not many in-person events, but is there anything that you've done or any experience that you've had that is like stand out in your mind?
Yes, I had the opportunity to teach a class in Vietnam
Oh,
just the other week about what I do. And
wow.
yes, yes, it was so exciting, and the kids absolutely loved it. But I just explained what I do and just a little bit about Nissan, and they thought it was just the coolest thing ever. And it was so neat to get questions back from them and their feedback, and just seeing how amazed they were really about what I do.
And going back to like, I feel like COVID obviously changed a lot for everyone, but it is nice to see that there are things coming out of COVID and having to go virtual. Like prime example is this, that you got to speak with these children on the other side of the country.
Yes,
Sometimes I think had we not adjusted so well to, this virtual reality that we have to live in, I feel like
absolutely.
there are so many experiences that we wouldn't have been able to have. So it's just so awesome that,
Yes.
that was able to happen for you. Wow. I know that you have your national pageant coming up, Miss for America Strong in Vegas. So what are you most looking forward to when you're out there?
I am just looking forward to being present in the moments that I'm there. I'm already so proud of myself for getting to this point that I'm at right now, and being able to represent Mississippi as your Miss Mississippi for America out in Vegas. But really, just I'm excited to soak in the moments and put my best foot forward and just meet new girls and to have fun.
Speaking from firsthand experience, it's such a good organization, and I'm so thankful that I've had that experience to lead me through, my most frequent pageant experience in the USA organization. But you're gonna have a blast. Vegas is so fun. All right. Well, thanks so much, Lauren, for stopping by and being our third guest for our STEM Sundays with Emily episodes. I can't wait to see how you do in Vegas, and thanks so much for teaching us about packaging engineering.
Thank you so much. And it was quite the honor to sit down and chit chat with you some. And I'm so excited to just share my platform, and hopefully I will inspire and encourage girls in the future to get into STEM.